Greetings and welcome to Class 5 Collection. Ecto Eric here. Hope you're doing good. So, as you can see, I have the complete wave of the Spin Masters 1978 Superman movie. I've had these for a long time, and it was funny because when they were being released, you couldn't find these up here. A good friend of mine, Trey, he actually sent me, I think he sent me just about all of them. I won't say it was about all of them. I think there was one Jarrell he sent. I forgot which one. And I was able to find a few more, so I bought a couple more Superman. I have another Lois, and I think I have one more Zod. But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the complete set because up here it was just hard. And people were selling these for like $50 a pop. I mean, that's scummy. So, anyways, I have some. I still have a few in the packages. I don't usually buy something to keep in the box, but I did. So don't ask me why. But they were only $8. So I figured, what the hell. So what these we're gonna rip open. So actually we're gonna do the whole damn lot. Why not? Usually I don't, but we're going, and they're small. There's really nothing to them. So let's stop yapping because you know me. I'm like a little old man. I start yapping about something. And so he's already been opened, as you can see. So the back of the boxes are all the same. There's nothing different. So here's Christopher Reeve as Superman. So this one was easy because it's already been opened. Now, I broke one of these. That's why I probably I bought a couple more. I went to turn the head, and the head just snapped clean off. So I'm not doing that. I went to do this, and I actually got tack on it to hold it. But it's 5 PA, which is 5 points of articulation. The old 1970s and 80s Star Wars, which is fine. Now, this looks good. You can't deny that's not Christopher Reeve. I love it, even right down to the S. I love it. His accessory is the kryptonite necklace that Lex Luthor put around him, which was kind of weird, but yeah. So that's cool. So that's Superman. Now they are 3 3/4. If I no, honey, yeah. Let's make sure. Because I am notorious for not taking measurements, and I apologize for that. Because people are like, hey, dude, could you like measure that so I know? And it's not on you, that is on me. So do it. So yeah, he's just a tad under. Actually, I think he really is a 4 inch. I don't think he's 3 3/4. Yeah, he's a 4 inch. And I'm really surprised. I really thought he'd be 3 3/4. Hang on a sec. So yes, this is my favorite Star Wars figure, Han Solo from Hoth. If we say Bespin, but you know what I mean. He is 3 3/4 and he is 4 inch. So that settles that debate. So it's nice to have a little taller. So he probably wouldn't fit in a Falcon. Oh well. Go fly somewhere else, Soups. Now this one is his father Jor-El in his black robe. He does have that long crystal that he has in the beginning. Right there. So like I said, same thing in the back. Yeah. So let's crack him open. So it's nice that they had two versions. They have the black version suit, and then they got his pearlescent suit that like really sparkled before they shipped Kal-El out into space to Earth. I would have went nuts having these in 1978, 79. Oh, I think we had was like Migos and then like the Kenner stuff, but they definitely weren't, close to being movie. But as a kid, we didn't care. Like today, it's like people are expecting a 3 3/4 figure to be like a Hot Toys, and dude, technology has gotten pretty good. But to think that you're gonna get a figure 3 3/4 to 4 inch to look like the actor. That's, yeah, good luck with that. And still get it for $8. I mean, no. But that's me. Come on, buddy. There we go. Oh man, now these have been down in the toy containment unit for months. There's nothing fancy. This is just a piece of acrylic. It's even got air bubbles in it. So, but it does the job. That's for $8. Like I said, yeah, that's nice. That really. Let me get a little closer. Okay, I just want to get the camera a little closer. I mean, that really looks good. Does that look like Brando? Not necessarily, but you know who it is. So that's cool. So now you got father and son. Now what helps him stand is his robe. Now, I telling you right now, there's no way you're gonna get that plastic rod in that little paw. Yeah, no. And there's some paint bleed right here, but if you're down like this, you really can't tell. So, like I was saying before, I'm not going to attempt to get this rod in that small little paw. I'm just not. It's kind of weird that you put an accessory where they can't do anything with, but again, $8. I'm not gonna really cry too much. So, but he looks good next to his son. Let's get them a little closer. Sorry about that. That's a little better. Okay, now let's take a look at Miss Lane. So here's her in the box. Let me back out. Nice, comes in a little notepad. Very simple. I like it. This is just how it would have been back in the 70s and 80s. Simplistic, no great details, no like, oh my god, it looks just like Margot Kidder. I was supposed to say Margot Robbie. Yeah, but Margot Kidder. Yeah. Of course, as a kid, I did have a little bit of a crush on this Lois Lane. And of course, crush on Margot Robbie in Harley Quinn because I like bad girls. Anybody that knows me knows that. I'm not into the prim and proper, and it's just not right. But enough of that. When I get to talk about me and my weird things. But sometimes it's good for people to know. I do try to save the boxes so I can throw them back in. I don't care if they're not mint, but it just helps keep everything. I don't have a ton of room, so I have to rotate my collection like a lot of people do. And I don't mind it, to be honest with you. It gives me a chance to take it down, put something up new, and then I can rearrange things later on. So I don't mind. I can see some people getting ticked off with that and get it, but me, I don't mind. Keeps me entertained. So she's in like that cream color, which maybe in the movie it was. I definitely do not remember. Oh, she has a little notepad. Because, she is a reporter. Now, it looks like there may be something. There is something written. Now, can we see it? You know what? I don't have my glasses. So, with my glasses, in this, it says, I spent one night with Superman. Ooh, yeah, yeah, that could be. I mean, you did later on. That's for sure. But yeah, okay, I'm pretty sure today's, well, my mind would go there because, I'm a guy. So, but anyways, now this is one thick notebook. Again, her paws are tiny. She got little paws. So no, she can't hold her notes. Um, yeah, I wouldn't. And if you did stretch it, it's gonna look like a lobster claw wide open. But anyways, that's a great attention to detail that you're able to put something that legible on there. So shout out to you guys. It just kind of stinks that we can't have her hold it, but thank you anyways. So like I said, so she's 5 points. I'm not going to try to move the head, but her arms go. I'm not going to do this with everyone because they're all the same. So she can. Can she sit? Yeah, she can. I actually like it. I think it's a very decent, like, of her. I mean, maybe if I was to hold this up and say, yo, what character is this? You may not be able to say, hey, oh, it's Lois Lane from 78. Maybe. But I kind of like it. I think it's nice. Okay, so let's put her over here for now. Now, we get the ultimate jerk, which is Lex Luthor. Now, very interesting is that Lex Luthor wasn't a rich businessman. He was just a intelligent, smug punk. And what had transpired was in Superman 3, which a lot of people don't like. I like it. Excuse me. I can't think of that bad guy to own the business. For life of me. But anyways, he was the prototype of what he would become. Just a rich jerk that had multiple resources, many resources. So I'm because this guy was hiding in the freaking sewers of Metropolis. So I'm glad that they, in the cartoon, especially the cartoon, fleshed him out as a very ruthless businessman. And I love that voice of Lex Luthor in the animated series, which is can't think of the actor's name, but he was the one that was in Shawshank Redemption, who played the guard. That's the voice that pops in my head right away. Right away. That this booming voice, I just thought was great. Now, Gene Simmons Gene Simmons, what the hell? Gene Hackman, yeah, that would be really weird. Gene Simmons playing Lex Luthor. That would be wow. But Gene probably does have those characteristics. I mean, he is a little weird sometimes. So yeah, sorry about that, Gene Hackman. Now, first time I seen Gene Hackman in a movie was The Poseidon Adventure from 1972. Then, when I got older, I got to watch The French Connection. Was still one of my favorite movies. I love that freaking movie. Talk about gritty. That's one thing I like about the 70s movies. You had Death Wish. You had The French Connection. You had the Chainsaw Massacre. You had like some really gritty movies back in the 70s. I mean, they were not like today. They were just, and I think that's why when Star Wars came out, that was like a turning point where movies can be family fun and not just mommy and daddy gonna go watch a naughty movie. So now this is a good accessory. Their hairpiece, because he is bald. Now again, this is more of a book than a newspaper. Something about missiles. Yeah, 2 nuclear missiles test confirmed. So nice. Again, he can't hold it, but hey, thanks for throwing that in there. I appreciate it. And here's Lex with his purple suit for the Joker rocked it. Bald head. And then you've got the hairpiece. To be honest with you, he looks a lot better without it. Like, Yeah, I actually like it better without it. But it's nice that they threw it in there. So yeah, but it works. I like the color scheme. It's perfect. It's a shame that, like I said, the accessories. The only accessory that somewhat works is Superman's kryptonite necklace. Now let's look at Jor-El in the white suit right here. Let me back this out. Sorry, I keep going back and forth. If that drives you crazy, let me know. I mean, I may not care. It all depends on how I feel. Let me know in the comments if they zoom in and out is bothersome. So here's Jor-El in his white suit with a, and please stop calling this kryptonite. God, for the love of God, and as a big creator, stop it. It's a crystal, not kryptonite. This was kryptonite, even though it's a really funky green. Okay, this, no. Crystal, this, yes, kryptonite. Now, I always wondered, what if a human had gone to Krypton? Would we like croak? Or oh no, not croak. Would we have powers of the red sun? Would we be powerful like Superman is here? And would an Earth fragment be dangerous to us? So let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious about that. I've always thought, yeah, I mean, if he comes in here, no, we don't have a yellow sun. That's the big misconception. Even as kids, you watch it. No, the sun is white. It is not yellow. It's white. If it was yellow, we would have yellow clouds. We would have yellow snow. The moon would be yellow. So no, it is a white star. But growing up, we all was thought that. So, anyways, he gets the power from the sun. So if we went to Krypton, would we, in turn, have powers? So let me know down below. Maybe there is. Someone did a story where that's possible. I don't know. The things I think of at 3 in the morning when I'm at work. Yeah, those are the kind of things. You don't think I think about, saving the world and stuff. No, I think about, hey, if I can go to Krypton, would I have superpowers? That's the kind of stuff I think about. And can I really have a unlicensed nuclear accelerator strapped to my back? I think about stuff like that. So here is this Jor-El. It's kind of nice that we got two. Which one do I prefer? I actually prefer this one. I don't mind the black one, but something about that iridescent paint and just that black symbol. But I'm glad we have both. So his only accessory, is it taped in there? Yeah, I think it is. I just flew across the studio. Give me a few moments. Actually, it wasn't that hard. I turned around right there. It shot up, hit my light, and it hit the floor. So, with my channel, you never know. I am so not professional. So, can he hold this shard? Hey, yes. Yes, he can. It's kind of like he's holding a beer. Look at that. Cheers. So, yeah, that was hilarious. Oh, my God. That's why I try not to edit things out because I want people to see that, hey, I'm a klutz. I make mistakes, and it's okay to be human. That's how I roll. So, to answer everybody's question, no, there was no tape in there. Good old friction. So, the last one is my second favorite other than Superman. I was so enamored by Terrence Stamp. This Zod, he was such a jerk. And my favorite line from this is when he tells I think it was Lex Luthor when he says, "Why do you say this to me when you know I'll kill you for it?" I freaking love it. I mean, wow, and that straight face. And, oh, but you know who scared me? No, not Nom. It was Ursa. That woman, ooh, in that movie, she terrified me. He didn't terrify me. I just thought he was freaking cool. Norm was just, dim-witted. But her, and I want to know what the hell she did to those kids on Krypton. Like, Jesus. Now, it would have been nice if it would have came out with the other two. I kind of think it's a shame. So here is Terrence Stamp as General Zod. Kneel before Zod. I freaking love it in the 70s baggy pants. I love it. Oh God, I love this. I just love this character. And this reminds me of a 1970s rock album. That is so freaking cool. When they were in the Phantom Zone, I just love it. So yeah, it would have been nice if it came out with the other two, but I'm pretty sure this line's done now. They are supposed to be making a Batman 89, same scale, 4-inch. I think Vicky Vale and stuff like that, which would be cool. I really wish it would have come out with the other two, but you can buy them. I think Mattel made some. It's going to cost you a mint, but I'm happy with him. Now, again, he cannot hold his rock album, which is kind of weird because he can't, because this is him and his cohorts in the Phantom Zone, but still, it's a nice little set dressing. So this is the entire wave, and I love it. I think it's great. And I want a big shout out to my friend Trey. Dude, you helped me because you couldn't find these up here. And then like after a month after he sent it to me, I was able to find some more. So, and then I was at Target and I found, I don't know which Jor-El, but I think it was this one I found, and they only had one. And I picked up like a Superman. There was a bunch of others, and I could tell this guy. You can always tell a scalper. You can just they're very weird, and so he goes, "Oh, you gonna buy that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have it in my hand." He's, "Oh, come on, let me have it." Why? And he goes, "Oh, well, I'm gonna sell it." I'm like, "Yeah, give me $20 and I'll give it to you." You get all pissed off, dude. You're gonna charge somebody online $50 for it, so I wasn't gonna give it to him anyways. I don't need the $20 that bad. So anyways, I want to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and putting up with me. I appreciate it. Me is Han, Luke Shorty. So please stay safe, take care, keep collected. Peace.